news is the Cowboys released Dez Bryant on Friday. Dallas will save $8 million against the cap this season with the move. A source telling Todd Archer that Bryant was not offered a pay cut. Here's who Dez thinks is to blame for the end of his 8-year career in Dallas.
There's a narrative being floated out there, Dez, that some teammates had something to do with this decision. Do you have any evidence to support that at this point?
I'll say this right here. I believe that. Garrett Guys, I would say that.
So you're saying Garrett Guys worked against you? I
believe that. I truly believe it.
I mean, it's sad news. That's a brother to me. Put the football stuff behind you. What he meant to me as a person, what he meant to me as a brother, it's tough to see him go, but it shows you, I mean, it's a business. And it motivates me, honestly. All it does is it motivates me. It puts all this in perspective. So just got to go to work.
Look who showed up. The man that's been big-timing us for a couple weeks now.
No, I'm going to tell you who's been big-timing is these two scoundrels who's scared to show up in the studio.
I know. It's whatever.
They're scared to holler at your boy.
Time out.
Yeah,
time out. May I respond to that? May I respond to that?
What?
Save those comments for Max Kellerman. I am in Houston. I've been working all weekend.
So, Max, what's your excuse?
What's your excuse?
What's your excuse to holler at your boy?
You're huge timing us.
All right, let's get into it,
There's not enough room at the desk for all of us with big fella there. Come on, let's go.
Be nice.
It is good to see you.
Be nice. He is an offensive lineman. Stop. Watch your mouth, Max.
Stephen A., I want to start with you on this because this is your team, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. What's your reaction to Dez bringing up the Garrett Guys?
First of all, I consider America to be the greatest country on the planet Earth. This is the greatest nation in the world. So that does not come associated with the Dallas Cowboys, perpetually moribund, pathetic, with the most disgusting, nauseating, delusional fan base known to man. Having said all of that, let's get to Dez Bryant specifically. Upon hearing the news, obviously, I wasn't taken too far back by it. According to Pro Football Focus, he led the league in drops last year with 12. Guys like Rashard Matthews for the Titans had more productive season than he did, and he's making $10 million. And you know, Dez Bryant was in the middle of $45 million. $45 million still owed to him and what have you. His level of production had tailed off. Hadn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2014. We got to take all of these things into consideration. About 36 other receivers were considered to be more productive than him, have more catches than him in 2016. We got to take all of these things into consideration and just recognize what we've witnessed. Dez Bryant has lost a step. He's not the player he used to be. Okay, he's no longer open even when he's not open. You combine that with the fact that Dak Prescott is the one throwing him the football instead of Tony Romo, who he had a better chemistry with. Combined with the fact that the Terrence Williams, the Cole Beasleys of the world doesn't seem to be the answers as number 2. Jason Witten has gotten slower. Injuries decimated the offensive line. You can point to a lot of other things as to why Dez Bryant didn't do what some would deem he's still capable of doing. But the bottom line is that he didn't get it done, and he was costing them too money. So from a business perspective, it seems like the Cowboys made the right decision. But the timing does strike me as a tad bit odd. Did it really need to take this long for them to make the decision? A. B, it mirrors to some degree what they did with T.O., where Jerry Jones loved him, where he was their most productive receiver, even though he wasn't as great as he had previously been. And Jerry Jones wanted to do something that he was convinced by a multitude of others, including those close to Jason Garrett, to go in a different direction. So in that regard, it bothers me because it sends the message out that Dez Bryant is a problem, not just that his skills may have slipped. And that's the problem that I have with this. But from a business perspective, I totally understand why they made the move.
The issue is this, and I brought it up last week, and no sooner did I bring it up, the next day there was reporting on it. Stephen A., it's as my old partner Marcellus Wiley always says, when personality beats production in the NFL, you are gone. And Dez Bryant has a fiery personality, and it was messed up the way he was treated by a lot of the press when he was in his prime, which is clearly long gone. But when he was at his best and he was a top 5 NFL receiver, mistakenly called by Cowboys fans the best receiver, but a top 5 elite 50-50 ball catcher guy, when he was at his best, it was messed up how they were talking about his personality because he was so competitive. He wasn't being a distraction. He was, exhorting his teammates and being an elite player. That's okay. You put up with the fiery stuff, right? And what did they say recently, Stephen A? What was the reporting? What with the production now, that fiery personality can be a distraction. He's just not good enough. And it's not even about the personality. That's the excuse. The issue is the money. If you save $8 million when you cut a guy and he's not that good anymore, you cut him. I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world. This is a business decision. It's the way the NFL is organized. Any organization would make the exact same decision under these circumstances, paying all this money to a non-elite player. Of course, the player's ego's wrapped up in it. He'll have a million rationalizations for why he's not quite as good as he used to be. It's not really him, it's his surroundings. But he's not as good as he used to be. It's not just his surroundings, it's him. And so they made a business decision, plain and simple.
Well, listen, number one, the fact that they didn't even offer Dez a pay cut just lets me know that they were just tired of Dez. Not only his production slipping, but just the personality was wearing on the whole organization. That's number one. Number two, I think what's the interesting part, I want to see what Dak is going to do. Because we've seen Dez with Tony Romo and with Dak. And there's almost a 20-yard drop-off per game between the two quarterbacks. And that's really what you've been hearing out here is it really Dez as far as he's lost it, or is it the quarterback position with the Dallas Cowboys? Now, Dez has never been a speed burner. No one has ever mistaken Dez for that. He's always been the guy that's won the 50-50 balls. He's been, these big receivers that can out-muscle people. He's clearly slipped in that category. But I'm not going to absolve Dak in this situation because I don't think Dak utilizes the skill set that Dez Bryant brings to the table. So if I'm Dez moving forward from this, I need to go to an organization or with a quarterback who knows how to utilize me a la Tony Romo. Aaron Rodgers, that's your boy, Stephen A. Aaron Rodgers, the guy who knows how.
That's where I'm going.
Want to see him go? Yeah, or Stephen A. answered.
I want to see him go to Green Bay and play with Aaron Rodgers. I promise you. Dez Bryant, I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. Don't think about going to Buffalo. Don't think about going there. Don't go into any place that doesn't have an elite quarterback. If I'm Dez Bryant, I go one of 3 places, and I don't know if they've got the money to do it, but I'm going to Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to New Orleans with Drew Brees, or I'm going to New England with Tom Brady, because all of those quarterbacks have the potential and the ability to make him look good. That's what he should do.
Yeah, listen.
He wants to stay in the NFC East.
Listen.
Eli Manning's a real quarterback.
Listen, forget all that. I actually agree with Stephen A. Like I said, the number one guy, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is that quarterback that can throw the ball and make Dak look really good and accentuate the things that Dak does well. Yes. New England, Tom Brady. And the reason I bring up New England is Dez needs structure, in my opinion. What better place to have structure than with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots? And obviously, Drew Brees is one of the most accurate and deadly quarterbacks that we've ever seen in the National Football League. So, again, I agree with you, Stephen A. He needs to go to a real quarterback that knows how to use his skill set.
I got bad news, guys. You got 32 teams, 32, lead receivers, right? You got another 32 slot receivers, although the best receiver is sometimes a slot receiver. You got 64 receivers in the league who are definite starters, right? Give or take. Dez Bryant is at best one of those guys now. Dez Bryant doesn't exist anymore. I told you this about Adrian Peterson. No one likes to hear it. It doesn't really matter where he goes that much. He's a jag, just another guy right now. And that's what and by the way, now, from now on. That's what he is. He's another guy. He has certain skill set. He can still probably get 50-50 balls.
I want to come right at you.
But
I want to come right at you with what you said. Just another guy can be made to look a hell of a lot better if Aaron Rodgers, that bad man that he is throwing you that football. The running back, you on your own. I give you that. But a wide receiver is just another wide receiver is not just another wide receiver with Aaron Rodgers.
Right, but what I'm saying is that's interesting to us, that's interesting to you, to people watching this, to people who are going to read about it, because they know Dez Bryant as a character. He's part of their life, in their inner life, you know, their fantasy life, as a character that they've consumed through the media, watching him play, etc. But in real football terms, it's not that big a deal. He's just another dude now. He's a receiver. Someone's going to pick him up. He'll be better with Aaron Rodgers, just like a receiver would be.
All right, he's the Cowboys' all-time leader in TD receptions. We shall see where he goes. It was so good to see you, my friend. You'll be on NFL Live later?
Yes, I will.
Okay, come back again soon. Still to come, one more rebound, and Ben Simmons would have had a triple-double in his first career playoff game. Did he just put the Eastern Conference on notice? And remember when most people thought the Thunder won that trade that sent Victor Oladipo to the Pacers in return for Paul George? Well, last night they have changed some people's minds. Find out how the guys feel about it next.
Whether you're painting your home or restoring a landmark, PPG Timeless is